Hi, Phil here in the SMC Development Lab. Today I'd like to show you how to set up custom drag brake setting. It's also the same procedure for setting up the cutoff voltage, the custom LiPo cutoff voltage. Today I'll be using a two-wheel drive buggy, but it's the same process for any vehicle. First thing you need to do is make sure that your program box is plugged into the program port, which is the port on the right on an RF-170. You'll need the battery installed for this one. So plug the battery in. Next thing we'll turn on the ESC. On the program box we'll see that it'll come up. This program box has been programmed for the firmware, what we call 107, the stock firmware, but it's the exact same procedure for any of the processes. This has firmware 106 in it. Good for two-wheel drive buggy. And then we get into the different modes. Here this is the operation mode, and we use the up and down arrow to scroll through. Next we'll get to initial brake, which is 99% of the time set up to drag brake. And here we go into drag brake. I've already pre-selected custom at 35%, which is the default. If we would choose any other setting, you'll hear the motor will click, telling us that that setting has been accepted within the ESC. When I go to 35, what we need to do to alter the custom setting is you press either the right or the left button. Here I'll use the right button. We'll press and hold it until the numerical value starts flashing. Now we can use the left button to decrease the custom value, and you'll hear at one point the motor is clicked to tell us that it's accepted that, or we can increase it. Let's set it at something nice and high just for example purposes. Here it's set at 50%. To go out of the flashing scroll, we go to the next parameter, which happens to be brake strength. If we come back, we'll see that the drag brake has indeed stopped flashing, and the custom value is now set at 50%. If we want to set the LiPo cutoff, you see I use a custom cutoff at a 2S pack in my two-wheel drive buggy at 7 volts. Now that's the total voltage. When you look at parameters, no cutoff is setting 1, 2.9, I have no idea why that's in there, but that's cutoff 2, 3 volts default, too low in my opinion. 3.2 is getting a little bit better. I like to use around 3.5 volts, 3.6 volts, something in that range. So I'll set the custom. The custom though is not per volt per cell, the custom is total pack voltage. It'll be the same process. We'll press and hold, say, the right arrow, it'll start flashing. We can go up, and once the ESC has accepted it, the motor will click and tell us that it's set. Go to the next level, come back, and it's still at 7. It's easy as that. When you're done, you can either turn off the ESC. I find it's much easier just to unplug it, and we're done. Unplug the program box, and charge our battery, and we're ready to go run. Thanks a lot. Speak to you soon.